Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Hany Ismail from Planning Engineer website. In this live session, we will discuss any planning questions, and I will be happy to answer your questions. As usual, we will start this session with a little bit advice until you start commenting your questions. If you have any question regarding planning or your daily tasks in construction project management, just share it. Let's have some brainstorming, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. So, my advice to you before starting our session is sharing experience. If I have gained some knowledge in my life, it is the majority of it. It's because I'm sharing my experience with others. So I'm trying to solve problems. I'm trying to help others. That's why my information will become up to date. I will know more problems and solving issues with others. And actually, I see some planning engineers, and also this in all disciplines, not only in the planning, they don't like to share their experience. They might feel that if I share my experience, this person might be better than me, or they gain more experience more than me. This is not correct. Believe me, the best way to enhance your skills is to share your experience, trying to help others and try to get benefit of the of solving others' problems. So this was my short advice for today. Let's go and see your comments. We have here the first comment from Mr. Sen Tucker. Hello, sir. Thank you for sharing with us valuable information, inshallah. Thank you very much. Also, I'm getting benefit from these sessions because I'm refreshing my information. And it is not necessarily to know all the answers of your questions, by the way. Sometimes when someone sends me an email or send me a question, I just do a research and try to find the solution for it. So by doing this, if you have some good skills doing research, then you might have a very wide source of information. There's the internet. You can solve all your problems. However, my advice to you is to have at least the correct concept, to know what to search for. So this is my opinion. Let's see what you have here, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf. How I can link Primavera 20.1 with SDK application, but I failed to solve this problem till now. Could you prepare a video to solve this problem, please? Okay. For those who don't know the SDK, this SDK was Excel sheet prepared by Oracle. This Excel sheet will connect the Excel to Primavera directly without using the regular import and export we are using. But unfortunately, they developed it for the 32 version only. So if your Office version or Excel version is 64, it will not work at all. And they stopped to develop it. I'm not sure what was the reason behind it, but it is a good tool actually, the SDK. But since they stopped their development, me also I stopped using it. Because yes, it connects the Primavera to the Excel faster, but it has a lot of problems. For example, you should have your Excel in 32, not 64. If you succeeded to do this one, or if you have no problem to have 64, and by the way, what is the differences between Excel 32 and Excel 64? Excel 64 will use your PC resources more efficiently. It means it will use all the RAM, it will use all the processor capabilities, and so on. So it is not advisable to install Office 32. However, I have two tricks for the SDK to work for you. First of all, install the Office directly on C drive, not in the program files. This was one known issue. Secondly, you have to have Excel sheet in 32 format if you insist to do it. But now the import and export using the traditional way is now simple and easy. You can use import and export if you know the steps exactly what you are trying to do. It will be no issue at all. And let me give you trick also about importing things. Um, in the Excel, when you are trying to import and export, it is important to see. I would like to share with you. This was a problem I received yesterday, and I just replied it yes. Let me share my screen here to show you what I'm talking about. This one. When you are doing import and export in Excel, if you have this star besides the column name, it means you cannot update. You need to find another column name. And this one of the common things that we feel that the import and the export is difficult in Excel, where it is not difficult. If you just know how to import and export it, no issues at all. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Yusuf, thank you for helping anyone. You are most welcome. This is always my pleasure. Mr. Imran, Assalamu alaikum, sir. I want to show 7 days calendar only on top of program. I already changed the calendar on default 7 days, but still on the program not showing 7 days. No, if you change the calendar, default calendar into 7 days, it should show 7 days. What's the problem? Simply, let me share my screen to show you how to do it. And after you see this video, if it doesn't show the calendar days, just send me an email with your file to info@planningengineer.net, and I will try to find what was the problem for you. I would like to show you the calendars. I'm opening the Primavera to open the calendars for you. Let me share my screen here again. Okay, this is a calendar. If you be sure that you are making the default here, one calendar with 7 days. If you make it 7 days and be sure it is 7 days, how you be sure it is 7 days? You just go to modify and check the working days. This duration, original duration, you can go to modify here, and from work week, you can specify where it is as an hours, and this will show you the calendar days. If you show here the original duration, the original duration here, which means the duration here. Original duration is showing already. So this one, the original duration will be shown as 7 days if your default calendar is 7 days. If you still have a problem, send me your file with some screenshots. It is important when you send me some query in the email, send some screenshots telling me this is a problem I have, and so I can understand it quickly, and I will find what is the problem and reply you back. Okay, we have another question here from Mr. Arshad. Assalamu alaikum. My resource assignment WBS is not summed up exactly with the activities man hours in WBS. Can you suggest any solution? Why? You should ask yourself why the WBS is not giving you the totals. Because you might be using the wrong column. What's the column you are using? Tell me, Mr. Arshad. What is the columns you are using? So, and what is the units you are putting in this column, so we can see what is the problem. But WBS should sum exactly the same. By the way, some Primavera versions, they have bugs. So I believe 16.7 and another couple of versions, they have some bugs in the calculations. So it is better to go away from these versions and try to have the latest update one. It is if you are not working in a professional company, it is for your training purposes. Oracle, they are offering it for free, I believe. Okay, we have here. Can a delay analysis be prepared using an approved baseline? Actually, this is a good question. Okay. When you are doing a delay analysis, you are basing your analysis on something, on some schedule. So if this schedule is not approved by the client, how you can prove your events? It is important to have some solid background about what you are trying to deliver. So, in my opinion, the first stage, if you would like to submit a delay analysis, is to get your baseline approved. And I know it will be a not easy situation if the client knows that you have already a claim on the table and you are trying to approve your baseline. Your mission will not be too easy, I know. But let me ask you, why your baseline not approved in the first place? This is was the question. You should work on your baseline to get it approved as soon as possible, because this is a contractual document. A contractual document, and this is not. Some planning engineers, they are just give up when they have some comments from the consultant and the client. They just give up and they don't provide more version to the baseline to get it approved. And some clients, I don't know why, they feel very they are afraid to approve the baseline. Why? This is not something not related to the project. It's a contractual document. It should be approved in a proper way. So yeah, in my opinion, it should be approved first. Then you submit your claim according to the approved baseline. Mr. Faris, Jazakallah khairan, ya Mr. Faris. Mr. Nash, it's okay to use the current update as a revised based on the compensable duration due to impact or exchange order. Okay. The problem here, when we are using an updated schedule as a baseline, all the planned percentage is not accurate. Because the Primavera, they have too many durations. They have the original duration, actual duration, at completion duration. So now we'll start getting some misleading information. So I prefer that the baseline always to be without update. However, in our delay analysis, okay, we have, if you are using the window analysis, we have window 0. This is our baseline without any change, without anything. Okay, then we update this one according to the event, which will be W1, window 1. And then W2 is the progress update as of the fragment you use or the data date you have selected. And then you take this update and put it on the influence schedule. And you have here one of the 3 scenarios. Okay. First, if your updated schedule has more delays than your influence schedule, it means you were delayed anyway, so you are not entitled for an extension of time. If your updated schedule shows delays less than the influence schedules means the event plus the baseline. It means you are entitled for an extension of time with the time variance. You are, by the way, some planning engineers, they fall in this trap. that the consultant will tell them, okay, you was delayed 10 days and the event will give you 20 days, so I'll give you 10 days only. No, I need 20 days as a time and 10 days as a cost, prolongation cost. So in that case, you should ask for your rights. The third scenario is the apple to apple. So it means also you are entitled for time only without cost. It means you are delayed in your updated schedule 10 days, and the informant schedule showing 10 days. It means you have the right to claim for 10 days as extension of time, but no cost. We have here Mr. Nash, baseline must be approved first. Yes, this is a comment for the previous question. The baseline was not approved by the client, but the same client is requesting weekly and monthly report for the same program. Why? Okay, why it is not approved? This is a very good question. But since it is used for monitoring the project, it might be a good references. Let's say, if the client have a solid comment that like he will tell you, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is missing from your baseline, you should do it. Since it is used for the weekly and monthly report, you can use this as a reference that I based my claim on the schedule used for our weekly and monthly report. But yeah, I don't understand why it should not be approved. Mr. Muhammad Ali, I learned Primavera from my friend and self-struggle now. I want to be a practice. How I can get chance in GCC? Have you any idea? Okay. Learning Primavera from a friend, nothing wrong with it. It's okay. But it is important to select the source of your information. Because you might go, if you are going in the correct direction, you are learning with some solid steps, it is very nice. You can go and learn, it's okay. But really, I'm concerned about the newbie planning engineers. They don't know anything yet. They will be a professional planning engineers after some time, but they started learning some concepts might affect their performance later on. Like I met planning engineer who is not convinced about cost and resource loading Excel sheet. He is doing only in Primavera. Why? When I asked him, because he learned it like this, and this is not correct. So it is important to learn the concepts, to know what should be done and how it should be done. Then you need to learn more or add more information from all the resources you have, your friends, internet, whatever. Okay, in order to work in Gulf countries, what they need, first of all, they need a good language, English language. Some people, they don't invest in learning. And I keep saying invest. Invest mean you pay something and you are expecting much more in return. So if you are buying a stock, okay, so you are paying $10, for example, and you would like to wait until the price will go up, it became 20, so you will get your profit. When it comes to your skills, you pay once to enhance your skills, and you get the benefit all of your life. So I don't understand why someone could have a phone, a cell phone, any cell phone, doesn't matter what is it, okay? And he don't know how to speak or talk English, how to write. Sell your phone, go learn English. I'm not talking here about because I know some of us, they concentrate about the accent more than the English language itself. I don't care if my planning engineer would say people or people, it doesn't matter. But I would like him or her to be able to write a contractual letter, a narrative report in the claim, can reply the email in a professional way. This is the English language I'm talking about. So the first thing you need to do in order to be able to work in a Gulf country, make yourself prepared. Learn. First of all, first thing like ABC English. If you don't know English, then case closed. Second, now you know English, you can communicate with different cultures, you can communicate with different people. Now start learning planning. What will learn in planning? You need to learn how to schedule, how to update, how to communicate with your project team. And there are many courses available on the internet. Sorry. But you need to select a reliable source from someone who has some practical experience. Okay, let's come back to our friend here. The baseline was submitted to the main contractor who gave some comments. These comments were incorporated by the subcontractor planner, yet the main contractor keeps bringing a new comments. What contradictory in the main contract keeping requesting weekly and monthly report? Okay, uh, in my case, when I face something like this, first of all, you need to be cooperative, okay, and you need to be fast. Whatever comments you have, if you feel it is reasonable, please do it, and you need to do it fast. Some planning engineer take ages preparing the baseline. This is not good because science is changing every day. If you are not fast enough, you will not catch up. You did all your comments, you submitted. Usually, I don't submit weekly report until I got approved baseline. I direct it to the consultant or the client like this. I cannot submit a weekly report without approved baseline. You have still some comments, minor comments. Okay, give it code B, approved as noted. Okay, then you, whenever I comply with these minor comments, then make it code A. But at least I have to have some references. So in my opinion, you shouldn't submit the weekly report, a monthly report without approval of the baseline. Mr. Nash is telling the same what I was saying. Push the client to approve the baseline if there is no comments. Baseline is your basis. 100% correct. I agree with you. Okay, we have here one question from Mr. Tahsin Ahmed. How to show percentage progress if parameters are different, like procurement based on cost, weight, construction based on 1 hour, consumption, etc. Okay. You know this apple to apple. We need to have two apples. Where is the camera? Here. Two apples should be in the same size. You cannot put man hours with cost. Whether you need to have cost or you need to have a manpower. If you have two different evaluation criteria like cost and manpower, okay, segregate the progress percentage. Don't say the progress overall percentage is X. No. Say the procurement percentage is X based on manpower, and the construction progress is Y based on cost. You cannot put two different evaluation criteria. Like some people that are using quantities to evaluate the construction. How come? For example, one chiller, okay, and 1,000 linear meter of skirting. So is the same weight? No, of course not. You need to have a proper weight. The most accurate weight, in my opinion, is the hours. Why don't put hours in procurement as well? But how many hours required for issuing the material submittal, then get it approved, then the procurement, then the delivery, put it hours. Or by the way, you might have a completely different weight. Like you put your own weight. You will say, okay, this activity, I'll give it weight 10. This activity, I'll give it weight 20, based on the importance of the activity. So you will have a unique or a uniform distribution of the weight. Mr. Muhammad Ali, thanks, you are welcome. Mr. Muhammad Yusuf, does the approval of EOT as a result of suspension or design modification mean that the project extension cost is due to the contractor? Yes, of course. You, as a client, suspended the work, okay, or it changes the design. Why? Why? Okay, this is also a very nice trick, by the way. Let's say you have a variation order due to design changes, okay? And the client is giving you 1 month extension of time and variation order for 1 million, let's say. Then the client will argue with you about the prolongation cost. He will ask you, why you need prolongation cost? I already give you 1 million, right? Your typical answer should be that I calculated the variation order cost based on the additional scope of work supervision team. Like I have extra 200 square meter of whatever. I need one engineer, one foreman to supervise this one, and then this only the price included in the 1 million. What about the 100 team member related to the original scope of work where they have to stay 1 more month, and as a company owner, I have to pay them for 1 more month because of your variation order. This is the prolongation cost. The prolongation cost mainly is results from the extended duration of the original scope of work. Okay. Which methodology is the best describe late payment related delays? It depends on your project. No best methodology in the extension of time and delay analysis. But I'll try first with the client with something like as planned, because I believe as planned is if you have a good plan, a good baseline, as planned is okay. Sometimes they say no, we need to consider the current situation, so we'll go to window analysis. Mr. Inu, thanks for the information, guys. You are welcome. Only critical path activity can delay your project. Also, not all critical path activity can delay your project. How true is this? This is true to some limit. Because what is the definition of critical activity? Critical activity, it means total float is zero, right? Okay, agreed. What about the activity near critical? It has float 2 days. So if they are delayed, this activity, if it is delayed 5 days, it will not impact the project, it will impact. And by the way, the critical path is changing while you are updating your schedule. You have now total float depending on the available activities and the sequence of work, and this total float is changing. So yes, this statement is correct to a certain extent, that near critical activities should be considered as well. If it exceeds the total float, then it became critical and it will go into this statement as well. And by the way, here one question: who owns the critical, or who owns the total float? Sometimes it is clearly written in the contract who owns the critical float, the total float. But in general, who owns the project total float? The project total float is whoever use it first on it. It means if you have a total float of 10 days in one activity, and you as a contractor delay this 10 days, it means خلاص, you burn this float and you own it. The other way around, okay, if the client delayed you 10 days, okay, in this activity, you cannot claim for extension of time because he used it first. So whoever use it first, he own it first. We have here one comment from Mr. Rahul. How to manage baseline if there is hold in an activity for say 4 months. What we can do with the activity so it does not reflect in look ahead plan. Okay, there are two things here. We have the suspension, how to show it in our schedule. If we have a suspension period of 4 months, this suspension is affecting the whole project or a small area. It is if it is affecting the whole project, it means you have no look ahead. You have zero activities ongoing, right? If it is impacting a small portion of the project, then in that case, you need to revise your baseline and make an activity, call it suspension period, and link this activity to the relevant activities. Let's say you have three buildings. One building is on hold for 4 months. You will create a new activity, suspension period, 4 months, and link the finish date to the start date of this building. And accordingly, when you are creating a look ahead schedule or a look ahead plan, it will not show this relevant activity in your look ahead. Uh, it will be pushed because of your this new activity you have added. Okay. In the paradise, inshallah, will earn prolongation course. Why? By the way, I took maybe four project prolongation costs, four different projects, four different clients. You need to be a warrior, a real warrior, and you need to defend your rights. Believe me, it is possible. And even in my last project, I took two prolongation costs. But you need to be a professional. It is easy. See, sometimes you come to clash with the client, okay? And I don't recommend this to يعني reach a stage where you have a real clash with the client. Alternatively, I discuss openly. I don't have something to hide. And by the way, I should be convinced with the claim before starting working with it. Even I did some claims as a freelancer to other projects and companies, and some of them I just rejected. I said, no, sorry, I'm not convinced about this claim. I cannot win this case. But when I'm convinced, it is like a case. You need to find your documents. You need to find how to defend your case. It is like a small war, but in a good faith. So yeah, prolongation cost can be taken without any doubts. I took it and I know how to get it. Mr. Asim, in delay analysis, should we consider calculating delays based on float path order? The delays mainly are calculated after you burn all the floats. Let's say you have one activity with 10 days float, and this activity was delayed for 20 days. It means you are entitled for 10 days only. That's it. Floats will not consider in the delays. How to prepare look ahead schedule in updated schedule? You mean in Primavera? There is one filter in Primavera to show look ahead schedule. I don't understand what you mean in updated schedule. Okay, let's first think. What is look ahead schedule? Look ahead schedule is showing what are the activities coming in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever you period you make. So it is a very simple filter in Primavera to show the activities that not completed. So when you filter out the activity not completed, it will show you the in progress and not started. And you filter the start within range 2, 3, 4 weeks, or finish within range 2, 3, 4 weeks. That's it. Very simple. But in my work, I prefer to do it in Excel. I get the data from Primavera and I do it in Excel. Let me share with you a nice sheet I have created. I will share with you also the link how to get this file after I finish this video. in the Excel, because I trust Excel more than Primavera, to be honest, in the calculations. Let me share with you this nice sheet. See, this sheet will give you here the schedule. This is the look at the schedule, okay? It will show you the actual and the planned quantity for each week. I call it mini schedule, okay? What you need to do is to put your data here, the like activity ID, activity name, project name, building name, whatever WBS you have here, and the quantity is very important. Planned start and planned finish, okay? Using here some formula, I calculate the percentage for each week. Then I multiply this percentage by the quantity to get the data here in this one. So you can hide and unhide whatever columns you want. I believe it is better to have it in Excel because it is simple to filter. Like here, if I need only division one, I can filter, or if I need division two, if I need a certain activity. So I believe it is better to have it here, and you can simply. I did also one macro here. Like if you have, okay, this is your file, you are happy with it. You can just save to PDF, and it will be saved to PDF. How you can get this sheet? Okay, let me also tell you. You can go to Planning Engineer website, go to blog, search for mini schedule. So I'll give you the trick how to find it. Here, the mini schedule planned versus actual Excel sheet. There is one video you can watch how to do it, and this is explaining what to do, and you can simply download it from here. That's it. And if you have any comments regarding this one, also send me. We can enhance it because I did some settings here where the week will start, where the holidays, it will calculate also the holidays and so on. So yeah, you can try it. Okay. We have one question here, Mr. Sayyid Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How to give start to start relationship at one time for more than 100 activity? Export it and make it. Okay, let me share my screen, no problem. We have here. Okay. Let's have this program. I will go to File, Export, then Spreadsheet, then Activities Relationship. Okay. And I'll select this one. I will have from here. Let's add one new. And whenever you do a format and it works for you, save it because it will help you later on. Here, let's make it export relationships. Okay. We don't need predecessor project, successor project. We don't need predecessor WBS. We need only predecessor, successor, predecessor activity name, the successor activity name, relationship type, lag. We don't need whatever we can remove from here, and that's enough. So these are the column. We need the predecessor, successor, predecessor activity name, so it will give you some idea what you are trying to do. Successor activity name, relationship type, lag, and that's it. I click next. Let me save this file in the desktop. Then we'll save it here. Okay, save it. Downloads. This is a huge project actually, so yeah. Okay, now here, this is the activity relationships. Okay, here is a trick. This, if you need to make a start to start, put the predecessor here, okay, and put the successor here. So this activity link it to this activity with a start to start relationship. You have the activity ID, this activity ID, and this activity ID, and put a start to start relationship and drag it. If you have the IDs for your activities, just put it here and put the successor here, put the relationship type here, whether it is a start to start, finish to finish, or whatever. You can put lag also if you need start to start with lag, positive or minus. And after you finish, import this sheet to your schedule and it will work. But here the idea, it is about how you construct your program at the first place. How did you make it in a proper way so you can do these steps? Do you have some good coding of the activities ID? Yeah, but in a concept, you can do this. How to remove successor relationship at one time? Very good question. Same sheet. Let me this one. Same sheet. Do you see this? Delete this row. Hmm? If you type D here, okay, type D. Whatever. Let's say you want to remove these relationships, all of them. Double click. Okay, save and import. What will happen? This will delete this relationship. It will not create it. It will delete it. So using import and export, I didn't share my screen, sorry. So let me share my screen again. Here, I was talking about this row. Do you remember the export we did for the activity relationships? In this column, you can see delete this row. What if you put the letter D here? Okay, it will delete these relationships. All of them will be deleted. Whatever you choose, you can delete. So let's say, okay, let's say you need to delete the relationship for a certain activity. What you will do, let's say you need here for, let's say, this activity, and we need activity to be handing over. You want to delete all the relationship for handing over. Simply you filter here the handing over. You have three relationships, okay? Then you go from here, make delete, 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 okay? Then you make this filter and select the blanks with no deletes and just delete the physical row. Then okay, remove the filter. Now we will import this one. We need to tell the Primavera, please delete for me these three relationships. It will be deleted. Okay. What else we have here? Should an activity on the critical path has a total float value of 1, it can delay your project. However, it should the same activity total float of 1 be exit. No, if it is critical activity, it means it has total float of 0, not 1. Sometimes there is hours, and it's showing you 1. But if you change the hours in Primavera, it will maybe 0.4 hours. So show the decimal of hours in Primavera and fix it. It will work. It will show you always 0 for the critical activities. What software are you using to check the open start and open end easily? Example, the successor has a relationship of a start to start only to avoid an open and master. I don't use any software. I'm using the report of Primavera itself. It will tell you. Let me show you. When you have here the Primavera, here you can make schedule. Okay, once you did this schedule, there is a log file will be created here. So we have here in schedule.txt, then I open the schedule, the log. You will find, actually, we can open it from here. Be sure that it is okay. So this in desktop folder Hani. This is the schedule log. In the schedule log itself, it will tell you here activity without predecessor. This is the number of activities, the ID. This is all I need. Activity without successor, here it is. Milestone activities. It will give you a full report actually. You don't need any more software for this one. For me, it is more than enough. I have all the information here. All owners in Egypt refuse to give the contractor prolongation without actual work. It's up to you whether you would like to take the fight or you just say, okay, they just refuse. Because they are, what it is the contract? The contract is a binding document. What means binding document? It means it influence or force the two parties to comply with the contract clauses. If it is written in the contract that no claims, you agreed about this one. Why are you complaining now? But if it is not written in the contract, you should look for your rights and your company rights. Engineer Abdul Quddus, how should be relationship between this activity material submittal, material approval, purchase order, delivery actual? Simple finish to start. Sometimes, okay, for let's say, if you consider one material submittal, one activity, and you are not considering two cycles, for example, that like you will submit the material, then you will wait for the feedback from the client or consultant, then you'll submit it again. But if you are using one, you might use start to start with lag, like you submit and they give it like 20 days, the submission duration. And then start to start with 10 days to receive the approval with lag 10 days and duration 20 days. So you consider like these two cycles. However, after the approval only, you can issue the PO. So it means finish to start with the PO. After the PO only, you can start the manufacture. So it is finished to start with the manufacture. After the start of the manufacture only, it can start the delivery. So it is finished to start with the manufacture. Okay. Mrs. Nada, I can't see what you are. Ah, yes, I shared the screen and you fixed it already. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, we have here one another question. For EVM, which software better to use, P6 or Excel? What do you mean by EVM, Earned Value Management? You are calculating actual percentage or costs or something. If your work, whether in Primavera or Excel is correct, it should be typical, identical, 100%. Like it's the same. It is about not better. It is about what's easy for you. You are using Primavera, and the output of Primavera is something comfortable to your project team, or you need something more easy, more durable. You can send sheets and so on to your project team. So, in my opinion, it is not related to the accuracy more than the easiness of work in terms of the AVM calculation. But in other things like reporting, I definitely prefer the reporting in Excel. I don't like the reporting in Primavera. Like if I would like to see what was the plan and the actual for activities, it is changing in Primavera. Whenever you update your schedule, it is changed unless you save the period and do some certain steps. You let me show you what I mean here. You can see here this budgeted units. If you change this one to actual units, and you have some update, let's say in 30 November 2021, okay? Then this is 30, sorry, 30 October. You have some figures here. and then you update it in 6 November, you will find that the figures here are changing. So that's why I don't recommend Primavera in such reports. But the plan percentage, actual percentage, Primavera always making as a cumulative. But if you would like to keep the history in a proper way, I better use the Excel. However, sometimes if you save the period, there are one option to save the period. It will save this period for you. Mrs. Nada, how to prepare for a claim as a planning engineer? Um, the answer of this question is a complete course to prepare a claim. Because let me go and go through what I prepared. I'm not trying to make marketing here, guys. Just I'm trying to tell you that there are something worth to study. If you can see here, what are the steps to prepare a claim? First of all, that you need to understand the concept of claims, and you need to understand how to find the events. Sometimes the events are not very clear. Like you have event could be in a drawing comment, it could be in a letter, it could be in RFI, it could be in. So that's why clients are catching us as a planners where we don't have a very solid evidence. So you need to learn how to find the event, where to find them. Then the third step is to collect and record supporting documents. It is not only to know that there is a claim, you need to have an evidence of this claim. You need to have supporting documents for your claim. Then, after you collect all this information, you need to analyze delays. You need to find what is the best way to submit your claim. Then you start building your case because, as I said before, it's a case. It is not only a document or a Primavera software program or something you submit. No, it's a complete case. It has a narrative report and so on. That's why I have one complete lesson for how to defend your case, how to be ready to defend your case. Then we will create time impact window analysis techniques. Then some contract module you need to understand, and you have to have also a narrative report. I'm telling you how to prepare the narrative report. It is hard to explain in one video, in one short comment, but I'm telling you there are something worth to be learned. Okay, using filter, then where predecessor successor is equal value blank is not showing open activity easily method. Ah, yes, yes. This question was related to the open ends. Yes, you can use filters, but for me, I'm using the log, and I'm very happy with it. It is handy and easy, so I'm using it. Yes. What is the best delay analysis technique to be utilized for APC projects? There is no best technique, to be honest. It depends on the project and the client. Some clients they will only influence one delay analysis method, even if they will written it, they will write it clearly in the contract. I would like to use this method in my delay analysis, if any. So, in my opinion, it is not there is no standards. However, I'm preferring window analysis. It is more fair for both parties, for clients and contractors. Here in Juma, successor must have finished to start, finish to finish relationship to avoid open days. Do you have an idea how to unify easily? Yeah, I think we discussed here how to find the open ends, whether you make a filter for activities without the predecessor or activities without successor, or you can also find the log. It will give you all the activities without predecessor and all the activities without successor. Is the planners compiled to use practical delay analysis technique by the main contractors? If it is written in the contract, yes, you should comply with the contract clauses. If it is not written in the contract, it is by mutual agreement. Where can practice real project in Primavera, Mr. Abdul Qadir? I have my courses. I have practical case study. I didn't make any single course without a practical case study because it is useless. What I will learn from the Primavera file open, what is this? I need to have a project to work on it. So yeah, again, would like to share some real projects. I already have, okay, since you asked this question 2 times, let me explain to you. See here in planningengineer.net, go to courses, see how many courses you have. This is a basic course for Arabic. This is basic course English. Okay, so we count this one, this two, three, four, and this all included here. So I will not count it more. Five, six. So currently there are 6 courses, all of them with a practical case study. So if you'd like to join, you are welcome. If you have any difficulties, by the way, for payment or something, just send me an email. Mr. Muhammad Bilal, regarding Power BI, if my company don't own official Microsoft organization email ID, is there any easy method to publish the interactive report in HTML format so that it can be easily shared and projected and discussed during meeting? Why your company don't have official Microsoft organization email? This is the idea. I think now they open it, the publishing, they are opening it for free. No, you should, it is not mandatory to be a premium user or something. However, send me an email, Muhammad Bilal. I'll give you one professional email so you can publish your reports. What is the best progress and engineering design project? What is the best progress and engineering design project? You mean progress dashboard? Um, there was a nice book I read it during my master degree. It says one size fits all doesn't work in construction. This in the clauses you see one size fits all. It is stretching. You can make it like this, so it will work. No, in my opinion, each project team, it is not only a project. They have different views. They have different requirements, and accordingly, they need different outputs from your side. So I cannot say what is the best. When I creating a dashboard for a project, okay, even I'm following a freelancer project in a freelancer basis, I sit with the project team in a virtual meeting or a real meeting or whatever. I'm asking them what you would like to see in your dashboard. So thanks for the recent technology. It is amazing. Okay. And I can make the data, store it once, and create different reports using Excel. Amazing tool. So it depends on the team's needs, team's requirement. Mr. Muhammad Yusuf, many deep thanks for your help us again. You are welcome. If the activity number one has a start to start relationship, our client asking to add finish to start or finish to finish relationship to avoid open dates. The schedule log is different. Do you have idea how to identify it easily? Okay. Sometimes you need to close the open ends with some smart technique. Like you say, you have the activity number one, which is say shop drawing submittals, and you are linking it to shop drawing approval with a start to start. Okay, so all your shop drawing submittals will be open ends. Okay, what you need to do, create a milestone. Okay, make it completion of all shop drawing submittal, and link all the shop drawing submittal finish to start with this milestone. So it will not be open. You need just to instead of having two relationships with two different type of relationships with one activity, just try to put some milestones, control milestones we call it. It will solve the open ends for you. We have here Mr. Muhammad. Could you tell us how to apply crushing method on Primavera schedule, like changing fixed duration and time to fixed duration and unit and time? Actually, I'm not big fan of the Primavera different duration types. However, I will tell you the concept of crashing if you would like to uh, uh, reduce the project duration using the crashing method. Crashing method, what does it mean? You reduce the duration to the minimum with some overlaps. I don't want to rely on Primavera ready things. Like Primavera has resource leveling automatic. It will move the activities to make it resource leveling. I don't like to use this tool because it will smash my program. If you try it, you will find it is not accurate at all. So I would like to do it manually. Same for the crashing. Crashing, I'm doing it activity by activity. I sit with a project team before doing the crashing schedule and ask them what is the minimum duration for each activity. Then I took this minimum duration, I changed the original duration normally. Then I put this one in the schedule and see if I got the required result or not. And it might take two, three, four cycles before being able to finalize the crushing schedule. Uh, Thank you, very engineer. I would like to thank you personally because your course has made me. You are welcome, Mr. K4. I'm very happy that you find my course useful for you. It is always my pleasure to help you guys. Is it a must for a planner to link all start to start activity as finish to finish? No, no, not a must. This is client preferences. No. If I was asked to do this by the main contractor planner, but this is very demanding as the main contractor asked for this to be done on weekly report. No, it is not a must. I don't think it is a must. What is your reference? Yeah, let's be logic. We are engineers. We can think. We can negotiate. What is your references to ask me to do so? If you have a good reference, convincing reference, I will raise my hat for you and I'll say to you, yes, sir. But if you are just wishes for you, sometimes, okay, I make the client wishes, but when it comes to my company rights or my easiness of workflow, uh, I don't do it. Simply, I don't do it. Let's have a discussion. Even if the planner insists in his opinion, I will ask for a meeting with his manager. It is not like I'm a client, so I'll force you to do whatever I want. I mean by client here, whether it is main contractor and subcontractor or it is a client and contractor. So, yani, the main contractor is a client for subcontractor. So we are logical. Let's be logical, and that's it. With logic, things all can happen. Uh, okay, this is the same comment. Thank you again. How to add costs for the activities resources which are not used constantly, like one electrician or yeah, we can. You can do it. What is the problem? You can make one resource and assign this resource to many activities. There is no issues at all. I don't know if you mean this, but it is very simple. Let me show you. You mean here, this is my activities, and here I have from the resources tab, okay, I can add resources here. I don't have resources here. Let's put some resources. I'll add one resource. You can add whatever resources you want here. Add this resource. Let's say this resource we just add it to 1000 activity. It doesn't matter. Shift, select whatever activities you have, and click here, assign. That's it. And usually I'm doing this step in Excel. I'm assigning resources in Excel because let me show you. يعني, well, in Excel, I would like I know which activity required which resource and what is the budgeted units for resource, whether it is in the cost loading or resource loading. So I prefer to do it in Excel, yeah, then import it directly to Primavera. Mr. Muhammad, thanks, you are welcome. Yeah, in Primavera. Always close all activities with dangling start and finish in all your updates. This is the main contractor claim. If you don't do this, it won't reveal a true. No, this is not correct. Prove it to me. Let's have one exercise. Let's do it together. I will do finish to start, and you do start to start, and finish to finish relationship, and let's see how it will work. Let's do a simple program 10 activities. If your theory is correct, then I'll follow it. If my theory is correct, then you don't have to force me. Is there any process to follow when setting up your project plan? Yes. You should, first of all, when you are doing the plan, you should consult your project team. You should take their opinion. You should consider potential claims. Like if you know there is something ongoing in the elevators, but might be delayed by the client, so make it near critical. So if they delayed you in this activity, you already have a contingency. What is the best way to represent project management in your program? Level of effort or WBS summary? WBS summary. I use WBS summary, of course. Mr. Raja, thank you. You are welcome. Some days back talked about scholarship for your course. Is still available? The scholarship itself is closed because I already selected the 14 person. Actually, I planned for 10, but I selected 14 person. But if you missed this one, you can have the recorded version of this workshop. It will be available soon in the website, so you can join it. And whenever you have a question or something in the recorded version, I'm offering all my trainees in my courses the opportunity to send me their problem, even it is not related to the course. If they have some other problems, some other issues in their working environment, we are discussing it. We might have some short meetings on Teams or on Microsoft, sorry, Zoom. So yeah, you might catch this one. I believe this session was a little bit long. I don't want to make it longer. I still have some questions. Sorry if I cannot reply it all, but I hope you enjoyed these live sessions. If you would like to be notified with the new session, don't forget to follow me in YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Thank you very much. See you in the next live session.